The principal's new clothes. Mr. Bundy is the principal of PS88. He is also the sharpest dresser in town.
His students never miss a day of school. They like to see what he's wearing.
They always say.
Mr. Bundy has so many clothes that he can go a whole month without wearing the same suit twice. Sometimes he changes at lunchtime just to show off.
One day, a man and a woman who said they were tailors called on Mr. Bundy. Their card said,
But they were not really tailors. They were tricksters. Said Ivy.
Said Mr. Bundy.
This is no ordinary. That's special power.
Said Mo. Asked Mr. Bundy.
Mo looked to his left. He looked to his right. Then he whispered in Mr. Bundy's ear.
Make your clothes from a special power. It is invisible to anyone who is no good at his job. Just plain
Really?
said Mr. Bundy.
Yes, not only will you look pretty, but you can also find out if anyone in your store is no good at his job or just like stupid.
Wow, that is amazing.
Cried Mr. Bundy.
Now, if you lift up your arms, if you take off your jacket and lift up your arms, you'll take your jacket.
Said Ivy, grinning.
Go awesome picture money.
Mumbled Mo.
The next day, Mo and Ivy set up a workshop in the gym. Soon, everybody heard about Mr. Bundy's new clothes. Students asked to be excused to get a drink of water. Then they ran to the gym to pee. Teachers said that they were going next door to borrow chalk. Then they too ran to the gym, but no one could see a thing.
By the end of the week, Mr. Bundy began to get a little worried. What if he couldn't see the new, he began to wonder what his new clothes looked like. But he was also a little worried. What if he couldn't see what his new clothes looked like? So he called Miss Moore, his vice principal, Mrs. Moore, to take a look. Mrs. Moore was smart and really good at her job. Surely she would have no problem seeing this picture. Miss Moore hurried to the gym. She knocked on the door.
Mr. Bundy's happy to see his new clothes.
She called over the noise of the wearing machines. A moment later, the door opened a crack, and Miss Moore slipped inside.
What do you think? Have you seen anything like it?
Asked Mo.
Poor Miss Moore, she could not see a thing.
Could it be that I'm stupid or unfit for my job?
She wondered.
I tried so hard to be a good vice principal.
She took off her glasses, wiped them, and looked again. But there was no use. Miss Moore had to think fast. If she told the truth, she might get fired.
It's beautiful. I'm going to tell Mr. Bundy right now how much I like his new clothes.
Said Miss Moore.
Your suit is great.
Miss Moore told Mr. Bundy.
I've never seen anything like it, and I've got to run and make a phone call now. Bye.
She ran off before Mr. Bundy could ask any questions. Mr. Bundy was now more curious than ever.
He stopped Roger in the hall. Roger was one of the smartest students in the school. If he couldn't see the suit, no one could.
Say, Roger, do me a favor and go see how that other student's coming out.
Said Mr. Bundy. Roger couldn't believe his ears.
Wow, I'll be the first one to see the principal's new clothes. Wait till the rest of the class.
Said Roger, and he raced off to the gym.
The door was already open, so Roger peeked inside. He could see Mo and Arby hard at work at their sewing machines, but he could not see the clock.
Oh no, if Miss Sweeney finds out I can't see the suit, she'll think I'm stupid. She'll fail me for sure.
On the way back to his class, Roger poked his head into Mr. Bundy's office.
Super suit.
He said.
Asked Mr. Bundy.
Stop now, Mr. B. Miss Sweeney's giving out a test. I don't want to this.
Mr. Bundy couldn't stand it any longer.
I gotta go see for myself.
He marched down the hall and walked into the gym. He looked at the empty machines. He blinked once, he blinked twice. He began to tremble.
How could this be? Am I really no good at my job?
Is there anything wrong?
Asked Ivy.
No, it's wonderful. I can hardly wait to try it on.
He said. He handed Mo and Ivy 2 gold stars to show them how much he liked his new suit.
I would like to wear this to the assembly tomorrow, so I guess I'll be ready.
He said. He turned to go.
Wait, you'll work on it all night and be here in the morning.
Said Mo.
That night, Mr. Bundy dreamed cold and drafty dreams. Early the next morning, Mo and Ivy appeared, holding their empty hangers in the air. Ivy waited in the other room while Mo helped Mr. Bundy dress.
You must be very careful stepping into these pants. The cloth is very delicate.
said Mo. Ivy tried not to look at Mr. Bundy. She said,
Are your new clothes light? It's almost like having nothing at all, isn't it?
Mr. Bundy stared at himself in the mirror. He prayed that the rest of the world was smarter and fitter than he.
Are you guys coming to assembly?
asked Mr. Bundy.
Thanks, but no thanks. We have a rusty kind, and now if you could pay us, we'll just run along.
Said Ivy.
Mr. Bundy handed Mo a great deal of money. Mo handed Mr. Bundy the bill.
On the way to school, Mr. Bundy's neighbors all raved about the clothes they did not see. After all, they did not want their friends to find out that they were stupid or no good at their jobs.
Mr. Bundy walked into the auditorium. As he walked down the aisle, he could hear whispers all around him.
Suddenly, a kindergarten child called out.
The principal's in his underwear.
That did it. Everybody started laughing. The truth had been told. Nobody had been willing to tell the truth because they were afraid of what other people would think of them. Mr. Bundy stood on the stage, red in the face, knees shaky from the chill, but not for long.
Those kids and teachers wanted to help Mr. Bundy. They began passing up shirts and sweatpants, jackets and ties and caps. Soon, Mr. Bundy had a new suit.
Looking good, Mr. D.
Called Roger from the back row.
Mr. Bundy called the kindergarten child up onto the stage. He shook her hand and gave her a gold star.
Thank you for telling the truth, Alice.
He said.
Everyone cheered. They knew Mr. Bundy was smart and good at his job. And they all agreed, Mr. Bundy was still the sharpest dresser in town.